Porcfest 2020, where people are here for liberty. There's panel discussions on 3D printing of firearms, as well as finding a good legal representation and how to relocate to New Hampshire to join the Free State Project.
We're here at Porcfest with Hemp for Health, and they're here today with a bunch of CBD products, cherry hemp, and a couple of other products made from hemp material. How long have you been a hemp farmer?
3 years.
You're in Massachusetts, aren't you?
That's correct.
Was that the first year you could grow hemp, that 3 years ago?
Yeah, that's when they started giving the licenses out. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I understand a lot about the 0.3% thing. I know that a lot of farmers are hesitant with transitioning from corn or soybeans into hemp because if their plant comes in at 0.4 or 0.5%, it's considered hot, has to be completely destroyed, and there's no insurance available. You're on your own. And the 0.3 number seems to be somewhat arbitrary. I know other, like Poland, for example, they just said their allowable amount of THC in the plant is 1%. Now, 1% isn't going to get you high either. Not at all. You need about 10% minimally, and real good weed has like 20%. So really, 1% is not going to do it at all. And there's a problem with the VA. They're not allowing the veterans or the soldiers to use anything related to cannabis, even CBD. And what they're saying is it would be impossible for drug testing if they allow any CBD because there's a potential for some THC. Do you think that they're purposely holding back hemp with this 0.3 number?
I think that that's a federal rule, and most states are copying it. And I think across the board, no matter what you're dealing with, that there's a lot of pressure from Big Pharma. They stand to lose many billions of dollars. People using CBD are getting away from opioids, anti-anxiety medications, and there's just billions and billions of dollars that go into that every year. So there's a lot to be lost for the companies that depend on that revenue.
That's right. There's a new component that was recently discovered, equivalent to CBD in that it doesn't get you high, but it looks a little bit more like THC, and it's called CBC, I believe, and it's cannabichromide. Cannabichromide, I forgot the name. Anyway, CBC, and it's about 1% of the constituency of the plant, whereas CBD is about 40% of the plant. Is if you look into the average of plant mass.
I'm not familiar with CBC particularly, but there are over 100 cannabinoids in the plant, and they work best when they're all together. They call it the entourage effect. So companies that have taken THC or CBD and they make isolate, which is that one cannabinoid without anything else, they're nowhere near as effective than when you have the total mixture. Mm-hmm. And they're just beginning research. Another new is coming up. CBG is supposed to be really effective. Mm-hmm. I searched everywhere to get seeds. They're at a premium. The cheapest deal I could get is if I bought 25 seeds for $10 a piece. Mm-hmm. So I spent $250 for 25 plants, and 20 of them germinated, and I'm growing them, and I'm going to try crossbreeding them with other strains, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. Now, what is your business? If someone wanted to contact you, do you deal with the public at all, or are you?
Not really.
Okay.
CBDSEEDUSA.net. Okay. That's the website.
Okay, I'll put your link on the description.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Happy Hemp Day. Porcfest 2020 here with Tatiana Moroz, a very, very talented singer-songwriter. I know she plays a lot of festivals, but probably not this year. Has it been very difficult finding festivals to play?
Actually, I'm kind of happy for the break. So this is a really good way to kind of break the seal. I've been to Porcfest at least 6 times already, so it's definitely one of my favorite ones.
A big aspect of liberty for me is cannabis, especially industrial hemp. It frees us from being addicted to foreign petroleum oil and construction materials and all this kind of thing. We can finally grow housing material in our own yards that remediate the soil. Are you a big advocate for cannabis and industrial hemp, or just industrial hemp?
I don't see really why the government has to be involved in people's bodies. So on the cannabis side, I mean, it seems to have a lot of good medical uses, and a lot of people use it for anxiety. I mean, I don't think that's the government's business. On the hemp side, of course, there's a lot of benefits to the environment. It's a really durable type of material. So, yeah, what's not to love? I think the government's been involved in that process for a very long time, and I think it's about high time, no pun intended, that we get them out of the business.
Here at Porcfest 2020, and Porcfest is a great event for liberty. One of the big pieces of liberty is cannabis. There's a lot of, across the whole world, it's a weird thing they did. It pulled off this hemp hoax. They told everybody cannabis was a dangerous substance with no medicinal value. What do you think about the use of cannabis in terms of its purpose and liberty?
I think that it should be legalized all the way across the board because it has been suppressed, obviously because they wanted to make it illegal. The legalization of marijuana should be just across the board everywhere.
You know, one thing about legalization, though, it comes with a lot of politicians making it very difficult for people to get cannabis, right? So I think a better platform might be decriminalization. And it should be the case that people are able to grow cannabis like tomatoes, right? That's probably the best example. And that's not happening now, but it should be happening. So do you think that that's going to make the problem worse across the entire country?
No. I think that if they just could do it across the board, it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah. I mean, if you look at Porcfest in general, with everything that goes on here, it's not hurting anybody.
Do you feel like it's your duty to smoke cannabis?
I don't know if it's my duty or not. That's my decision, obviously. And that is up to the individual. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's individual liberty that makes that decision, right?
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are here for a radio station, aren't you? Or some sort of radio show? Or?
Yeah, the T-ROH Show.
The T-ROH Show. Nice. What do you guys cover on that show?
The government of the United States of America.
Okay.
Under the Articles of Confederation.
Yeah. I'll take a picture. I'll put a link for that in the description below.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for talking to me today.
All right.
Welcome to Porcfest 2020. There's not really too many festivals happening this year. This might be the only one. I'm here today with Wicked. What's your name? Sorry.
Wicked Craft Creations.
Wicked Craft Creations. I know you guys do a lot of festivals. Have you been doing any other festivals this year?
No, this is the only one for this year.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible news. You know, you guys make such nice stuff here. You do a lot of hand knitted clothing and hats. Do you do pretty good on the internet, or do you rely on festivals?
A lot of my income is based on in-person sales, festivals, but I do sell online, and it's mostly in-person because people really get to touch them and get to see what they really look like.
Sure. Now, I would assume your stuff is very popular with the cannabis crowd. Is that right?
Yes, that is.
You know, I think one thing with the cannabis crowd, they know that it's important to support local businesses, and they also don't want unnatural materials. They don't like to support China and polyester. Are you looking to get into hemp production? Not, you know, with your clothing?
Yes, I am.
Do you have anybody looking to provide you with hemp at the moment?
I have a few connections that will provide me with the materials, yes.
That's great news. So it's good to see hemp really kind of making a comeback, because it's not the beginning of hemp. Hemp started thousands of years ago. And one of the most exciting things for me is hempcrete and hemp-based wood material. And, you know, right now we have a horrible law which says that any hemp that has more than 0.3% THC must be destroyed. I think that makes it very difficult for hemp farmers to produce a product that's legal, and that's probably going to be a big problem. Do you have a problem at all with maybe getting any hemp that's more than 0.3% THC?
Not at all.
Seems pretty stupid, I think.
Seems pretty stupid, yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to me today. I really appreciate it. We'll definitely put a link for your shop below. I really like the hat that I got earlier. I was really excited to be here. You guys are doing a great job, and keep it up. I really wish you well. But you're very nice people, and you're very pleasant.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.
Porcfest 2020.